What makes this phone a bloody ultra? It's ultra because it's ultra. We have no clue. Ooh, 5,000 milliamp battery, 50 megapixel lens.
We have no clue, we're Samsung Knights!
What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video, and hopefully you liked my little AI skit sent on to me by one of my favourite members. But seriously, other than the price, what is Ultra? Anyway, let's move on to the phone from Samsung I am actually excited about. The Samsung Z Fold 8 Wide, in brackets. I'm going to call it the Wide because that's what Samsung should have called it. I'm excited about this because it's the first globally released wide phone in a few years, and it's the form factor I love the most. Let's go. Now, for those new to the channel and new to watching me talk about Samsung, because I don't really do much Samsung content, I'm the Average Dad, and I do have over 100,000 subscribers, believe it or not, mainly due to my loyal community that love my honesty and the fact that I'll review phones from the heart and not just Apple, Samsung and Google. Yes, unfortunately for Samsung Knights and Samsung themselves, I'm going to keep it 100% honest because I can compare them to the phones I have from Vivo, Oppo, Xiaomi, Huawei, and that's exactly where I want to start. The Samsung Z Fold 8 Wide is the second ultra-wide foldable phone to be released this year. Huawei released a Pura X Max just 2 months ago. I had it, I reviewed it, I loved it. Hardware-wise, absolutely crushes in every area the Samsung. Software-wise, no. Let's be honest, Samsung's One UI with Android 17 and a full global ROM pisses all over the Huawei. And even if you are the most die-hard Huawei fan, which I do have the Huawei subgroup in my Average Dad members chat, I think you also have to concede if Huawei were allowed to use Google, Android, it would make life a hell of a lot easier. However, they can't. So Samsung are releasing the first global wide phone right in front of Apple. But even when Apple released theirs, there's a few major differences. Number one, the software. iOS is completely different from Samsung's One UI. In terms of customization, animation, speed, just overall flexibility that Android gives you over iOS. It's also going to be Apple's first foldable phone. So I can guarantee there are going to be a lot of software bugs, glitches, just general getting to know how foldable phones work with multitasking for Apple. Whereas Samsung, they're the goats. They know exactly how to implement fantastic software, particularly for foldable phones and multitasking and productivity. So yeah, there's really no comparison just now. Now, quick spec dump of the Samsung, and then we'll talk about the price, which isn't actually horrific, unlike the Z Fold Ultra. So, spec dump wise, 5.5 inch 120Hz outer, 7.6 inch 120Hz inner, 100% the best form factor to view content on, period. There is no better experience than viewing media, videos, movies in a 4:3 aspect ratio. Your square foldable phone, mine is here, my square Vivo X Fold 6, while beautiful, it's fully square. So when you bring up a video, you're always going to have huge black bars at the top and bottom. Whereas on a 4:3 aspect ratio, tiny bars, how movies were intended to be watched. And sticking with the inner display, it is Samsung's best implementation of a near creaseless display. No, it's not going to be as good as the Oppo N6, but it's going to be as good as Samsung have ever gotten, or as close as Samsung have ever gotten to a creaseless display. It's also got an anti-reflective coating, which unfortunately my daily driver, the X Fold 6, doesn't have. So those are really big positives for the displays on the Samsung. And I promised I would always be honest. The whole mission statement of my channel is to be honest. So I'm going to keep this glazing fest going for Samsung because they have the best chipset on earth inside this device. It's a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy. Now granted, as I mentioned in my video yesterday, it is going to be a 1-year-old chip in the next month or so. I do feel that the partnership between Qualcomm and Samsung, they could have got together and made the Z Fold 8 lineups the first phones to get the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6 or whatever they're going to call it. But they didn't, and the 8 Gen 5 is what you're getting, the Elite Gen 5. And trust me, even though it's going to be a year old next month, it is absolutely more power than you or I or anyone you know will ever need. And I actually can't believe I'm going to bring this up as a positive, but I think it's important to do because it's all relative. The Samsung Z Fold 8 will have a 4,800 milliamp hour cell. I actually can't remember if this one's also going silicon carbon or not. I'll put an asterisk here for yes or no. But either way, it's the largest battery on a foldable phone from Samsung. Yes, 4,800 milliamp hours. I know the Ultra is 5,000, but that's also just coming out. So at the same time as this comes out, the 4,800 is the largest from Samsung. And the battery charging speeds are going up to 20 watts wireless and 45 watts wired. Now, I know anyone that watches my videos will know that those are slow charging speeds. That's a small battery compared to the likes of 7,000 milliamp hours on this. But it's all relative in terms of context. Samsung have increased their battery capacity by 10%. One UI and the Snapdragon chip are already bloody efficient. I do believe pairing the efficiency of the chip with the bigger battery and the smaller displays will make this the most battery efficient Samsung Fold of all time. And that does matter. So I guess well done Samsung. You can still do more, and I'm sure you will next year because that's what you do, you little bastards. Just tiny upgrades year on year, but still, well done. Now, in my opinion, I think that's taking care of all of the positives. Now I just want to touch on the cameras, which it's so hard to call it a negative or a positive because this is the first generation of this phone. Even though, again, stupidly they've called it the Z Fold 8, why would you do that? This is not the 8th generation of this phone, it's the first. The Z Wide one, call it something else. Anyway, because it's the first iteration, is dual cameras good? A 50 megapixel 1/1.5 inch main sensor is pretty damn good in a foldable phone. A 50 megapixel ultra wide with 4K 60 frames per second or 4K 120 frames per second is pretty goddamn good. So I don't want to sit here and slam Samsung too much about the cameras because I think they're going to be absolutely fine. And I think what's making me less inclined to slam Samsung about this phone is A, because it looks like a bloody good phone, but B, the price. Unlike the Z Fold 8 Ultra, this is £300 cheaper. Now, £1,699 isn't exactly cheap, but let's be honest, folks, if you're buying a phone from Samsung new, there are early bird deals, there are trade-in deals, there are vouchers. You're probably going to pick up brand new, the base storage version of this phone for less than £1,500. If you trade in, who knows what, could be less than £1,000. That is pretty goddamn good. And if we take this phone as its first generation, which it is, they've came out swinging. They just have. Because I don't think I can get much thinner or lighter at 201 grams. I really think they've made a really good effort here. Unfortunately for Samsung, that just compounds the hate, the real hate I'm seeing in the comments and in Samsung's videos and every creator that makes a Z Fold 8 Ultra video towards that device, because the 8 Ultra is not Ultra. Anyway, I'm not going down that road again, but yeah, the contrast between the love for the Z Fold 8 wide and the hate for the Z Fold 8 Ultra, not Ultra, is quite clear to see. Now, I have ordered both. I got a very tasty 45% discount on both of these phones. I will probably keep the Z Fold 8 wide, and I will definitely sell the Z Fold 8 Ultra. So if you haven't already, smash subscribe to see real, honest, raw content on those devices. And I will be doing a versus with my X Fold 6, my Find N6 and the Honor Magic V6. I'll be back soon with much more content. Until next time.
Hey, Jonathan, what's your idea for a new Ultra? I say we make the battery bigger all the way to 5,000 milliamps.
Let's make the wide angle from 12 megapixels to 50.